Hello, this is Coach Titan. Today we are going to be reviewing Pollen. So let's just get straight into the review.
To set up Pollen, you will need a bag full of pollinator tokens. You'll need a deck of cards for each person. There's 4 decks of cards. There's the orange flowers. There are the pink flowers. Oop, I grabbed purple as well. There, pink flowers. There are purple flowers, and there are green flowers. You will also need the 3 different bug scoring tokens. We got bees, butterflies, and June bugs. Then to set up the game, you will take 1 pollinator token and put it in the center of the board, and you will put 1 pollinator token aside in the reserve. And then each player will shuffle their deck of cards, and then they will draw 5 cards. On your turn, you will be doing 3 things: plant, pollinate, and attract. To plant a card, you will play one of your cards around one of these pollinator tokens. Then, after that, you will look to see if pollination happens. Now, pollination happens when there are 4 cards around one of these pollinator tokens. Obviously, on the first turn of the game, that wouldn't happen, so you'd move on to the next thing, attract. Now, attraction only happens when there are 2 different types of flowers that create a half circle, 2 or more. So then that would go here, attracting a pollinator token, and then you would draw another pollinator token for the reserve. Now, if there's ever a point where there are 2 spaces that need a pollinator token or more, you will just continue to draw until you've filled all those spaces and have one for the reserve. And then at the end of your turn, you will draw up to 5 cards. Now let's get a few more cards on the board so we can see how pollination works. So now that we have a few more cards out here, if the purple player, which would be the next person, put their card here, then it would trigger a pollination. So now you would look at both these bugs. We got the June bug. Well, purple has 1, 2, 3, 4 with the star because the stars are wild. So they have the most June bugs, so they would get a June bug scoring tile. And then the only person that has butterflies is the pink, so they would get a butterfly token. Then you would flip this over, and then you would move on to attract. So you would put this here, and you would pull another one of the pollinator tokens. Now let's see another example of a pollination with this green. So if green put their card here, the June bugs, purple has 3, green has 4, so green would get the June bug, and then green has 4 bees, and orange has 4 bees, and since there's a tie, no one gets a bee meeple. Now I noticed I missed a couple pollinator. Well, this one I just did here, so I could put that there. And then there's also one down here. Now this one, because it's only the green cards, you would not add one there. You will continue adding cards and pollinating and attracting around the table until one of 3 things happens. Either the pollinator tokens run out, all the cards run out, everyone plays their cards, or one of these bug piles is empty. Then you would move on to scoring. Now let's set up a scenario for scoring because it's a little funny. Okay, now to determine who won the game, you will be looking at who has the majority of each type of bug. Now, if any player has a majority of 2 different bugs, they automatically win the game. But if that is not the case, you will determine which players have the majority of each bug. So, for instance, orange has the majority of butterflies. Pink has the majority with 5 of the June bugs. And then it looks like purple has the majority of the bees. So the green player, who doesn't have the majority of any of them, would automatically lose the game. So then what you would do to determine who won the game out of the 3 players that have a majority, or if there's 2 or whatever, then you would remove the bugs of the majorities. So each player would remove their meeples that they have the most of, and then you would count the remaining meeples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So pink would be the winner of the game. Now, if there's a tie, the player with the most total meeples, you would bring their majority bugs back in, and you would count all the meeples, and whoever has the most wins the game. And if there's still a tie, they share the victory. And that is how you play Pollen.
What I like about Pollen is, number one, it has some beautiful art. Like, have you seen the front box? It looks beautiful. And then you look inside, and it doesn't change. There's no differentiation. It looks great. I like the cards. They look awesome. And also, for the components, I like these as well. They have some wooden pieces, and it's not even a deluxe game, so it's pretty awesome. I really like how Allplay was kind enough to put some expensive wooden pieces. They're not that, okay. Okay, yeah, okay, I get it. Another thing I like is that it's an easy strategy game. So if this is a game that you would want to play with like a kid, you could. But it also works your brain a little bit. So if you wanted to work a kid's brain a little bit with playing a strategy game, then might be the perfect game for them. And it's basically like, oh, what will get me the most points at the end of the game? Like if I do this, or will I win this if I place this? Like it gets your mind going a little bit, but it's also pretty simple. You can only really do one thing. There's not like a billion other things that you have to manage. Another thing I like is the time limit. It's a very short game. And I know I've been talking about how, like, oh, this game is a little bit too short. I wish it was a little bit longer for what it is. Kind of like Chomp. I was saying, like, you only take a few turns for Chomp and it's over. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could build, like, a whole Jurassic Park. But I feel like for this game, it's perfectly timed for what it is. And kind of connects to what I'm going to say next. I really don't feel the theme while I'm playing this game. It's very abstract. I usually like games which use their theme to like its fullest extent, like Shovel Knight or something like that, where it has like the moving board and it's like a super creative type game. Like, but this game's just like, oh, you know, the bugs pollinate the flowers, but that's really all you get out of the game. There's no other, and also there's no other side things to do. You know, as much as I love that there's, like, it's a super easy game, sometimes I like Sky Team, where there's a bunch of things that you can do, but in this game it's like, oh, you can play something, but that's about it. But you might be asking, man, Oliver, you don't usually say two bad things about a game. It's usually one thing at the end. And yes, I still do like this game. I do like it quite a bit. It's not my favorite game in the world. I would say it's you know, in middle of the road, but that's not bad. It could be worse. So that's it for what I like about, what I like and I don't like about Pollen. Outro. If you like this review of Pollen, please smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, and smash the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this, like long form videos, or even short form videos, or even live streams. And also check out my link tree where you can find my socials, my Facebook and Instagram, where you can get some behind the scenes action, and also my merch store where you can get some awesome merch, and also my Dice Tower playlist where you can see every time I am on the Dice Tower. So, that's it. Bye.